Man, chill, boss, man. I got this, yeah.
The movie starts with a gang leader laughing and saying that he is going to destroy the world now, and then he goes to open a big safe, which will most likely have a bomb in it. But suddenly a little kid appears wearing a suit that looks like Superman. While he is standing on top of the safe, the leader orders his men to kill him, but the child goes down to beat them all, as if he is a real Superman, and anyone who comes close to him easily topples him until the gang leader remains. So the child hits him one blow and flies him away. Then we move to America, and the same child knows us by himself, and his name is Chan, but he lives in a world of fantasies and illusions. And because of watching the cartoon a lot, he dreams of becoming a superhero, but he can't. Because he says there is no evil in the world around him, and because of this, he chooses every day by himself the victim that he will face. But his problems are too many, and we see an old man when he is going to ask his family for compensation for what happened to him, which a lot of money is. And because his family is rich, so they pay. This old man is the headmaster of the school where Chan is learning and begs his family to let him stay at home because they are no longer able to control him. So his father gets annoyed and he goes to sit with Chan and knows how much money he paid recently because of him. And also, he says that there is no school that accepts him, even they toured the whole world, and still, there is no school that wants him. But his wife reminds him that they did not travel to Asia, and their reputation still hasn't gotten there. So her husband is very happy and decides to move to Asia, although Chan refuses, but his father insists to move there. Then Chan's mother goes to console her son and remind him that he dreams of being a superhero, and she advises him to travel to Asia and protect his uncle who is living there. So Chan starts to imagine himself achieving his dream and agrees to travel immediately. But while he is walking in the road, he starts talking about his uncle in a bad way, and he says that if he looks bad, he will not be able to protect him well. At the same time, we go to Chan's uncle, and he is going to the airport to get his nephew, but he is late, and Chan's mother calls him and asks him. Then we will know that his name is Yuan, and from the appearance of him, he has a good job, but he doesn't know what he's going to face with Chan in a little while. Later, Yuan sees the girl he likes, and he invites her to ride with him to give her a ride on his way. But as soon as she gets in the car, it breaks down. So he is very embarrassed, and he uses the time until the car works, and he recommends her to his nephew, because she works as a teacher in the school, but because she is late, she decides to leave him and take a taxi at the airport. And we see a girl named Nana while she is talking on the phone, and who talks to her, recommends the bag she has. So she reassures him that she took care of her well and is close to arriving, but she doesn't know that she is 2 steps away. There are 2 thieves attacking her and stealing the bag from her. She is running after them to get her back, but she can't. So the man pulls her clothes and takes off her skirt. So she beats him and goes to look for who stole the bag from her. At the same time, Yuan arrived at the airport, and he's running looking for Chan everywhere, but the place is crowded and he can't find him because already he went out and stopped a taxi to drive him. But when he stops the taxi, he finds the thief running with the bag, so he throws his bag to the driver and makes him wait for him. And he runs after the thief, and he applies the movies that he watches all the time. At that time, Yuan is looking for Chan everywhere, who is able to stop the thief to take the bag. The thief reminds him of a child like the children and gives him with chocolate, but Chan rejects it and attacks him, and he can hit him alone and return the bag again. As for Yuan, he was ringing Chan's phone, but the phone fell from him while he was hitting the thief. And when Chan gets back to the taxi, he takes the phone from the driver and reports what happened to the police, who at the same time Yuan is standing with the same officer and reporting Chan that he was disappeared. Then Chan goes with the driver to drive him home. As for Yuan, he comes back and cannot answer his brother to reassure him about his son, because he lost him on his first day in the country. But when he comes home, he hears a voice inside, so he thinks that there is a thief, and he enters from the window, and suddenly he is surprised that Chan is the one at home. But Chan heard his voice and is holding a stick in his hand, and when he first sees him without hesitation, he hit him in the face. So Yuan fell to the ground unconscious. When Yuan wakes up, he finds Chan sitting next to him, and he says to him he was supposed to knock on the door before he enters so that this does not happen to him. But Yuan says it is not normal for a child to get off the plane and get home alone easily. Then Chan knows that when he got off the plane, he didn't find him. That's why he precedes him the house. And suddenly, while they are sitting, the phone is ringing, and she is Chan's mother, wanting to check on him. So her brother reassures her that he met him after his phone was lost, and he gives the phone to Chan to talk to his mother. But Chan wants to get his uncle into trouble and threatens to tell his mother everything. But Yuan begs him not saying anything, so that his sister doesn't yell at him. At the same time, we go somewhere to a big gang, and we see Nana standing with the gang leader who threatens her that if she doesn't return the bag, he will kill her. And he throws the sword next to her in the wall. As for Chan, he doesn't want his uncle to sleep with him on the bed. His uncle says that there is only one bed in the house and they will sleep together, but Chan is taking the opportunity and threatening him. So his uncle is forced to go out to sleep on the couch, but he keeps dreaming of the girl he loves all night long when she gets close to him. And when he wakes up from sleep, he discovers himself holding a rabbit in his hand and kissing him. So he terribly shocked, and he has a phobia of rabbits. So he asks Chan to get it out, but Chan refuses and makes the rabbit live with them. So Yuan has to agree against his will to this too, and he's preparing Chan to drive him to school. At the same time, Teacher Song standing receiving students on the first day of school, and who is a physical education teacher. But sport is affecting him a little bit, and he has a big belly, and this makes the manager make fun of him. But Song's dream is to become an explosives expert, and he doesn't see himself in this job. After a while, the teacher Rihanna arrives, that Yuan likes her. So Song takes her and walks to talk to her, and Yuan is standing behind him and sees her walking with him, so he gets very annoyed. But Chan is a smart kid, and he pays attention to his uncle's looks, and he says that he will help him get close to her. And when they meet her, they talk to her, but Chan is looked like his uncle. And as soon as he sees a girl at his age, he likes her, and he goes to get to know her. But she doesn't accept a word from him and walks away and leaves him. Then Chan goes to class and introduces himself to his classmates, and tell them that his dream is to be a superhero, and he comes here to save them all. So the manager arrives and calls Rana to talk to her. As for Chan, he goes to sit next to the girl he saw in the morning, so one of his colleagues bothers him and refuses to sit next to her, but Chan stays against his will. But the child has friends, and they get up to threaten Chan. At the same time, the manager is warning Rana about Chan and let her know that he is a harmful child and no one is safe from him. And when he walks, she hears a sound inside the classroom, so she enters quickly to see what's in it. So she discovers that Chan is hitting 3 and hanging 4 and making problems with the rest, and no one can stop him at all. And imagine, my friend, that this is the first day of school. What will he do with them for the rest of the year? After school, they wait for Chan, so he challenges them to face them all. But one of them challenges him to go to his karate school and face him there. Chan agrees and goes to meet him, but Chan is much stronger than him, and he can defeat him again and beat him in front of his colleagues easily. So the child lets older kids attack Chan, but he can defeat them all easily, and no one can stop him at all. So they challenge him to defeat Master Song, and if he could do it, then they will consider their leader. So Chan agrees to the challenge. At the same time, Nana was able to reach the thieves who stole the bag from her, but the thief knew that someone attacked him and beat him, and he keeps describing him with the characteristics of a superhero. And Nana shows Chan's picture and shows him, so he tells her that he is the one who hit him and stole the bag, so she goes to look for him. But the thief is embarrassed by his friends when they knew that a child is the one who hit him, so he knows that he had to lie to improve his appearance in front of them. As for Chan, he takes his position among his colleagues at school. Even the teachers themselves can't do anything with him, and Chan keeps bothering all his colleagues to prove to them that he is the strongest one and also controls them. Until day finished, and Yuan arrives to take him home. At night, he sits and plays while putting Rihanna's picture in front of him. And the next day, he goes with her to school. So Song sees them and calls them because he is very jealous of Yuan. And because of jealous, Sung insults him in front of the students. So Chan sees them from above, and he gets annoyed because of his uncle. As for Ra'ana, she takes Yuan to check on him, and Chan goes to sit with them, and he is happy that they got close to each other. But Song arrives and annoys Yuan again and embarrasses him in front of the teachers. At the same time, Nana and her colleagues standing watching the school to arrest Chan, who is going to the physical class. And by the way, all the kids are complicated of it because of Song, so Chan enters and challenges him in front of his colleagues. So Song agrees to the challenge, and at that time Chan attacks him and beat him in front of all the students, to the extent that his face swells completely, and all the kids encourage him. So Song gets annoyed because he gets embarrassed in front of his students, and he's trying to control Chan, but he can't. and Chan literally breaks him until the manager arrives, but Song is not paying attention and beating him. So the manager takes him to the office and punishes him. And there he finds Yuan waiting, so he blames him for raising Chan for violence and make an excuse that he is a child and he didn't want to beat him, but in reality he was not able to do it. We discover then that Song is the manager's nephew and appointed in the school by favoritism. As for Chan, his relationship with the girlfriend of his will be fixed, and she started to get close to him and he is very happy. And also his colleagues now consider him their leader as they promised him if he defeated Song, and they decide to make a party together. They call it Kung Fu Kids. At the same time, Nana arrived at Yuan's house, and they enter to look for the box inside, and suddenly they find it in front of them, so they take it and run to the leader who is practicing Kung Fu with his men. And it seems how strong he is, and no one can defeat him, and when Nana arrives in the box, he is happy, but when he opens it, he finds inside it a turtle. So he gets annoyed with her a lot, and thinks that she is making fun of him, and he judges them to face his men. But Nana met a strong girl. She uses the scorpion style in her beating, and Nana won't be able to do it. At night, Yuan is with Chan, and he asks him if he had a relationship with a girl in America, especially that he is happy that his relationship with Rana improved. And he keeps talking to Chan about the first day he saw her and liked her, and since that day he can't stay away from her, but he can't confess his love to her because he is afraid of her reaction, and that she stays away from him if she knows his intention. Days pass, and Chan receives the training of the karate team, and he trains them himself. So an invitation will reach Song to challenge Yuan after 3 days, so he imagines that he will win over him easily because he is weak, and he agrees, and he goes to the place he specified. But the surprise is that Chan is the one who goes to face him instead of Yuan. Later, Chan insults him and drops him to the ground, so the wig falls off his head and he is bald. At that time, Rana arrives and sees him, and he is a reality, so he says he doesn't want her anymore. So Rana sees the paper that the challenge is written on, and she gets mad at Yuan and yells at him, but the truth is, Yuan doesn't know what happened, and he gets mad at Chan because he did something that Rana lost from him, because she doesn't consider this challenge is love, and she is not a thing for someone to buy it. So Chan runs after his uncle to reconcile him, but Yuan is yelling at him and asking him not to interfere in his life again. Chan is affected and keeps thinking about his beautiful life with his uncle, and he doesn't know how to go home. So he goes to sleep at Rana's house and tell her about what he was doing in America, so she tries to improve his psychology. Yuan felt his guilt and goes back to look for Chan in the street, but he can't find him. And at that time, Rana calls him and tells him that Chan with her. The second day, Rana is in the hospital checking on Song, who thinks she loved him, but she is checking on him since he is her colleague, not more. At the same time, the gang is coming home to look for the one in the bag, but they don't find anything and they have to go. Then Chan takes his colleague and goes to check on Song in the hospital, and he apologizes to him and tries to improve his uncle's appearance in front of Rana, but he is surprised that he got out of the hospital and got better. But before they leave, Chan sees of the newspaper that has news about a certain rabbit. His blood can heal all wounds easily and quickly, and even all the doctors in the hospital talk about it. Chan thinks that the rabbit is at his house, and he goes to meet Rana so that she goes with them to return the rabbit to the police. But when they are leaving school, the gang is waiting for them outside, and many men appear and try to kidnap Chan, but he attacks them all. So they kidnap Rana and the girl with her until the rabbit comes back to them, which, by the way, Yuan sold it to a pet store. At night, Chan goes to meet the gang, and he asks them to free his friends first, and then he will give it to them. But after the gang frees them, they discover that the rabbit is fake, and then they run after them. Chan tries to defend Rana and his colleague, and anyone who comes close to him beats him. And there is a very big fight between Chan and the gang, but Chan is the hero, and anyone who comes close beats him with all skill, until they catch Yuan and Rana. So Yuan tries to defend Rana, but he gets beaten a lot because of her, and also the leader insults him very much in front of her. As for Chan, his colleague runs away and he comes back again to save his uncle, for those who are hanging by a rope in the middle of the place. Finally, Rana felt his love, but at the wrong time at all. Does anyone love someone in a situation like this? Chan starts to enter the place, until he sees his uncle hanging, and when he tries to free him, he finds boxes falling on him from above. So he decides to face the whole gang alone, and he goes to challenge the leader, so he orders his men to attack Chan. But Chan attacks them, and only the leader and the two are girls. So the leader threatens him that he will kill his uncle and Rana. So Chan has to listen to what he says and let them catch him. and he doesn't move so that they don't kill his uncle, and suddenly Song appears with the kids to help Chan, and they challenge the whole gang, but Song gets hit by them very easily. As for the children, they attack the gang and the leader, and about Nana and the girl who looks like Scorpion. So they go and attack Song, who is very afraid of them. But he overcomes his fear and hits them, but he can't do it, of course. And by luck, he falls them unconscious on the ground. As for Chan and his colleagues, they attack the leader, but he's very strong and hits them all. So the leader asks him to withdraw, but he does not accept, and they all attack him at once.